am here today with Jesse Krebs from Outlaw Feed, and I am very excited to be interviewing you about your business and all the great things you're doing over there. And I would just like you to start off. Can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about Outlaw Feed?
Sure. Again, my name is Jesse Krebs. I've been involved in the feed ingredient industry for, over about 12, 13 years. Started off as a broker in the, conventional feed area, helping feed mills and animal producers source their feed ingredients by the truckload. So bulk ingredients, and worked for a company for almost a little over 8 years. Left that company and started two different companies, basically Outlaw Brokerage, which I still do some of that sourcing, and then also Outlaw Feed here, which actually is in the transition of being kind of turned into Outlaw Nutrition, to be honest with you, because I don't do any full feeds. We do just supplements, and focusing mostly on the flax-based supplements. So I've been in the feed industry while I was kind of in the transition from leaving that company to starting my own business. I had a customer of mine that wanted to bring in cold milled flax for their into their feed rations in a feedlot in Omaha, to be honest with you. And I knew what flax was. I didn't know what the cold milling part of it meant, but I knew what flax was. I had a general idea of what some of the benefits were, but I wasn't as versed as I am now, obviously. And in doing that, it's kind of one of them things that I kind of had in my back pocket. So when I left that old business and started my new business, this Outlaw Feed portion of it was born. In that, after I kind of had done some research, started talking to people, figuring out really what the benefits are for animals for using flax. It just kind of occurred to me, it's like, hey, this is actually something that's really neat. It's a niche product. It's an all natural product. And it's like, I think there'd be a market for this. Obviously, as consumers get more knowledgeable and do more research on their own regarding, what they're eating, and then if they're eating beef or pork or poultry or anything of that nature, a lot of people, as you've probably seen, have become a little more knowledgeable about what those animals eat. And some people obviously care more than others. But, I think people are just becoming a little more knowledgeable about things. And obviously, too, for your smaller type outfits, not your big commercial operations, but your people at home that have, 10 or 15 head, or even somebody that has, say, 50 head of animals, those people are a lot more in tune with what their animals are eating and how to feed them and, make it healthy for them. Because some of those people obviously send their animals off to the feedlots and so forth, but some of them do market it themselves. And obviously with you guys, with the grass-fed side of things, they're going to market themselves to, say, their neighbors or their family, or just within their community, hypothetically, where those people are looking for that type of a raised animal. Again, it doesn't matter if it's pork, poultry, or beef for that matter. So to kind of make a longer story just a little bit shorter, with that, I kind of just really threw caution into the wind after I kind of got the idea of what the benefits for those animals were, and started this. So I started in the equine side of things, and really just started selling just straight bags of milled flax into the equine world. Did have a few local people where I'm at here in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, feeding it to some smaller animals, like layer hens, or once in a while a guy with a person with one or two pigs, or somebody with one or two steers would get the flax. So that's how the business started, and it has really just expanded from there. Where my products now, the stocked up, and my equine products were born was I was at a equine show next to another company that specialized in a really unique all natural fermentation product that does the work of both a pro and a prebiotic. So it really benefits the, in your beef side of things, it benefits the rumen, gets that functioning at a really high level, and also boosts the immune system. So in talking with that person, we left there, about 2 or 3 months later. I kind of was really thinking, it's like, regular flax, for that matter, it's not necessarily unique. It's maybe something that people don't use often, but it's not necessarily unique. You can get flax from your local feed mills and so forth. Now the one difference though being is that the way that ours is turned from the whole seed to the milled product. And I like to use the word milled because our product isn't crushed or ground. We don't extract any oil out of the flax or anything of that nature. It is 100% full fat, full nutrient flax. So what happens in a traditional feed mill, whereas they crush or they grind the product, they take it from the whole seed to the mill product. What they're going to do then is there's going to be some friction that's generated there during that process, and that's going to generate heat. That heat is going to start the oxidation of that oil, which I'm sure some of your users or viewers know that or have heard. Oh, you got to feed flax right away or it goes bad, and they're not wrong. But that's due to the fact of the way that it was milled. So a lot of people too, and then the equine side for that matter, they'll take whole flax and they'll use like a coffee grinder at home, and then they'll have to feed that stuff right away. But that's because the heat has started the oxidation of the oil, and then thus that product's only going to be good for a week. Maybe some people might get a month out of it. I know some people that grind enough of it, they stick it in their freezer and they only take out what they need at that time. Now, the difference being with our process, we use what we call the term cold milling. And what happens there is rather than the product being crushed or ground, it goes through more of a impeller type of a mill at a high rate of speed. And rather than being crushed or ground, like I said, it gets actually just sliced, or micronized is another word that's out there that's kind of commonly used. So during this process, there is little to no friction, thus no heat, and that's where the term cold milling comes from. Now, what that allows is our flax is 100% flax, like I said, nothing is taken out of it, and it has a 2-year shelf life, as long as it's kept dry and away from the rodents and the insects. So our products, again, have that 2-year shelf life. So that's kind of the difference between the flax that we use and maybe some other flax that is out there and used in other feeds. There's also things that people have heard of called flax meal. And ours does look like a flax meal. Now, when I hear meal, again, coming from the ingredient side of the conventional ingredient side of things, I think of like, soybean meal, which obviously is soybeans that have been crushed. The oil has been extracted out of there and you're left with just basically a protein source. Especially if the stuff has gone through one of the big processors and they've used a chemical extraction on that. Now your fat content on your soybean meal is 1-2%, and the protein's 45% approximately. Obviously, if it goes through a mechanical extraction or extruder, the fat level is still high. But when I hear meal, that's what I think of when I hear flax meal. That where the oil has been taken out of the product, and you're left with, say, I don't know, 36-35% protein and 5-6% fat maybe. And that's all fine and dandy, but the reason that you're going to use flax and the reason that they tell us to eat flax is because of the type of fat that's found in it, and that's that high omega-3 type fat. And a grazing animal, whether it be a cow, a sheep, a goat, a horse, any type of grazing animal, their really only predominant source of omega-3 fat is fresh pasture grass. So in the case here with the grass-fed people, obviously they're getting a decent chunk of omega-3 fat, but sometimes depending on the animal and so forth, that omega-3 fat can fluctuate, obviously with the sugars in the grass, the time of the day, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the evening, obviously too, depending on where you're located, if you've got too much water, not enough water, all that plays a factor in what your pasture looks like. So our product with regards to the flax, or excuse me, the omega-3 fat, it's a great source for supplementation. It's economical too. The only other, I shouldn't say only other, but the common other sources of omega-3 fat are like chia seed, which is about 3 times as expensive. And then you have your sea or fish oil derived type of omega-3 supplements. And last time I checked, a cow, a sheep, a goat, a horse, they weren't necessarily designed to eat fish. And I know those products do work. I have customers that use them and they're like, yeah, they work just fine. And you know, I'm not saying that they don't. I know that palatability sometimes is a little bit of an issue because of the smell and obviously the taste, and some of the animals don't like that. So that's where the omega-3 comes in. Now, what we've done with the stocked up product is, again, talking to that company that has the fermentation product. What we did is I worked with her, with the scientists and the nutritionists there, and basically said, hey, I want something that's unique to Outlaw Feed. I want something that anybody can feed, and you don't need to be a rocket scientist to do it. And I want it all natural. I don't want a bunch of fluff in there. I don't need fillers. I don't want that. If it's not going to do anything, I don't want it in there. I'm not into the label dressing. I'm into, hey, we got a product that what I tell you is what it is, and when I tell you that's what's going to do, and that's it. I'm not trying to, you know, sell, you know, sell something to somebody and not get any results. So what we did is I worked with them. We have the stocked up product, which is our livestock product for, again, your sheep, your goats, your cattle, whether it be dairy cattle or beef cattle, and you know, hogs, alpacas, you know, any type of a grazing animal you can feed this to. It does consist of about 35% fat. Over half of that fat is the omega-3 fat. It's got about, well, call it 15 to 20% protein. So there's a little bit of a protein in there. And then flax contains some awesome fiber in that it contains pectin, which when it mixes with the digestive, or the, you know, the fluid in the digestive tract, that pectin kind of forms like a gel. And that's going to come out and coat the entire digestive system. That's going to help keep things moving through the system efficiently. You know, not only the feed, but also your sand and your rocks and those types of things that get in there that need to be moved through. But it also is going to help the animal absorb more nutrients from the regular feed that they may be feeding, whether it's, you know, your grass-fed people, or if you are supplementing with a little bit of something else, that's going to help make that stuff more efficient. Now, what we do is we add, just kind of a simple little bit of vitamin mineral mix, and then this microbial ingredient, and combined with the flax, what you get here now is superior rumen health. And what's going to happen is the good bacteria in the rumen is going to flourish exponentially better than your pro and prebiotics would do. I'm sure some people have maybe heard of, you know, obviously there's yeasts out there on the conventional side of things, and I don't know if you guys allow it or not either, but like, you know, Vitaferm or Amaferm, those are some things that are out there that are used on the conventional side. What our product does compared to those products is the effect on the good bacteria in the rumen is exponentially better than those other products. And not only that, our product actually helps neutralize some of the bad bacteria as well, like the salmonellas and the E. coli. So really helps cut down on the bad stuff, helps the good stuff, really balances the pH of that rumen so that it can function at a very high level, which is in turn going to, again, increase your feed efficiency, or in case, you know, in your grass fed, you're going to get weight on a little bit faster than before, along with boost to the immune system, which I know, you know, on the grass fed and on the all natural side of things, and even, you know, people that are trying to do the, you know, non-antibiotic, non-medication type thing, this here product coupled with the flax really gives a significant boost to the immune system. So less chance of your animals getting sick. If they do get sick, they get better faster. You know, less runny noses in the fall or the spring when the weather's fluctuating from here in Minnesota, 75 degrees one day down to 35 degrees the next day, and that type of thing. And it's going to keep your animal's appetite going as well. So on the grass-fed side of things, you know, the potential there of not only the fat that's in the product, but also the improvement in rumen function. There's a potential there actually to speed up the growing process of your animal. So if it takes, you know, 2 years to grow your steer, you know, by using our product, the potential is there to cut down, let's say, 4 weeks or 6 weeks off that time frame. And again, it's just a supplement. So it is something that you have to feed it as a supplement, but you can get those benefits from that, along with, like I said, the fat content, which I know some people it helps. There's research that's been done out there on flax to help with marbling scores. Again, the immune system, and also too, flax is a natural anti-inflammatory. So I know in cattle, you're worried about inflammation, obviously in the lungs. That can help keep that toned down, along with working collectively with that boost to the immune system. So you kind of get a double whammy to help fight that. And then too, it's great for not only your steers or your heifers or whatever that you're trying to grow to the size to send to market. But it's also a great thing for your calves to put on with your calves once you wean them, to get them really a good jump start on life. Putting the weight on, get that appetite stimulated, get that rumen function stimulated, so that they can actually grow at a good rate for you, and become profitable and help your business. So that's kind of the short story. I'm sure there's a few things in there I maybe have missed, and maybe we'll cover here a little bit as we're chatting, and maybe as you ask a couple questions, Michael. But that's kind of the short story of it. Like I said, it is all natural, low sugar, low starch product, less than 3% combined sugar starch. So it's not filled with a bunch of molasses or anything to that nature. Again, it's all natural. It's really exciting for me to be a part of what you guys are doing, and get out there to your members, and have some of them start using our product.
So in a nutshell, it looks like what this product is bringing folks is you're going to have better animal health. You're getting a faster time to market. And after all that, you're ending up with a better product because it can be better marbled and the meat's coming out at a better quality.
Absolutely. Yep. And if and I'm not, I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% versed on all the rules when it comes to the grass-fed side of things with regards to antibiotics and medications and those types of things. But you should see less use of medications, less use of antibiotics. If you had to feed medicated feed or use medications or antibiotics, our product is actually going to work in conjunction with that medication or antibiotic. It's not going to fight against it as well. So you're going to have healthier animals, faster rates of gain on the feed side of things. And you know what, the flax too provides some fat and so forth. Your animals are going to look good. I mean, that's the other side of it. I mean, if you have customers that come out to your farm and they look at your animals, that flax is going to bring out a shine in the coats, in the hair. They're going to look good. It's going to stimulate some muscle growth and so forth. So you're not just adding fat to add fat and just get your animal, big. It's gonna add to the growth and the better utilization of the nutrients of what they're eating, so that they can better, be a better animal for you and be healthier and look good for you too. So again, if you have people that come out and you're looking at they're like, oh, which one do I want? And they're like, oh man, they all look really good. It's like, well, that's the one I want right there, type of a thing.
Awesome. I love hearing about Stocked Up. It sounds like an awesome product. So what made you look into the AGA approved product program?
Well, I'd be honest with you. It was kind of a thing where it's like, again, as I said at the beginning, this is kind of a niche product. And obviously the grass-fed side of things is a little bit of a niche deal as well, right? I mean, it is growing, but still it's not obviously conventional. It's not it's not the big, conventional farm feedlots, where you got, 500, 600 to 1,000 head out there, and you're feeding them anything you get your hands on, type of deal. Another thing too is I think that the people that are, I guess my impression of the people that are involved in the grass-fed side of things are people that, again, like I said, they care about kind of what's going on, what they're feeding their animals. I also feel that, again, those people are trying to gain as much knowledge as they can to raise better animals. So my thing is, again, that's what my product does, is to help you to raise better animals. So it was more or less kind of a natural fit of like, okay, how do I as a business get more involved with the grass-fed community? And I mean, you guys are it. That's really what it boils down to. It's like, you guys are it. So that's really how I kind of come on to you. And was the deal, just looking into what you guys had on your website, talking a little bit, obviously submitting some information to you guys as far as what my product does, what it consists of, how it works a little bit. And just, that's, like I said, just kind of seemed like a really natural fit for both of us.
So we've heard a lot of great things about Stocked Up. It sounds like an awesome fit for a lot of our producers. And of course, it's an AGA approved product, so it'll fit into everyone's certification. Where can we get our hands on this product?
Yeah, right now we are a small company. You're basically looking at the guy that does just about everything. We're a family business. I have my son, my mom and my dad, my girlfriend a little bit. Everybody kind of helps out and pitches in, but we are a small family-run business. Right now, to get the stuff, we are based in Minnesota, the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. All of our product is ordered online, and we do ship everywhere. I ship everywhere. I can ship single bags. I can ship pallets. I can do all of that. If you are located in the Minneapolis metro area, you can call me. I can come out to your farm. I can visit with you. I can bring product with me. Even if you're near here, I mean, for example, for my equine customers, I get as far away as over to River Falls, which is right across the river. I get out, towards the St. Cloud area here in Minnesota, and kind of anywhere in between. As a matter of fact, on Thursday, I'm actually going to, for one of my equine customers, I'm going down to Iowa. But if there's anybody in Northeast Iowa, in that Waverly area, or, from Minneapolis through Rochester all the way down there, and you want me to stop in on Thursday, I would have no problem doing that. So it's like I get around. So the biggest thing is to follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Whenever we're traveling, I bring product with me all the time. And I meet people all the time, whether it be at their farms, at exit 123 at the local Casey station, or whatever have you. But if you want to call it worst case scenario, I can always ship stuff to you. We do have a few dealers that are out there. I have somebody in Omaha, another person over in a little bit south central Nebraska, somebody over a little bit of western Nebraska. Obviously, I have a dealer by the Linden Station, Wisconsin Dells area. I have somebody that's down just south of Des Moines, Iowa. And we continue to build that dealer network. But like I said, we are a young business and small, and I'm big on relationships, even if you're a person that has 2 cows. Let's just put it that way. I'm big on making sure that that person knows what my product can do, how they should utilize it, and obviously if there's any questions at any time, that the phone is always available via text, via email, again, social media. So yeah, our website's www.outlaw-feed.com. Like I said, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Reach out at any time for those types of things to get a hold of us. Yeah, I try and make it as easy as possible to try and get people product. That's just really what it boils down to. Again, I come from being a broker in the ingredient world. Relationships are important, and I really have brought that over into this. I'm not a person that's like, hey, order a bag for me online, thanks for the money, and I don't want to hear from you again until you need another bag. That's not me at all. I do want to make sure that the customer understands why they're using the product, what the benefits are going to be, and what results they should get out of it.
I love to hear your commitment to not only your business, but also your customers. That's
yeah, I mean, I think it's important because, I'm big on customer service, customer satisfaction. And to be honest with you, it is a business. Don't get me wrong. Just like their business is a business, and I'm just like them. They want the person to come back and buy beef from them, or buy pork from them, or whatever, year in and year out. Well, I want my product to be something that gets to be a normal staple in their feed program, as well, because of the benefits, and again, because of the service and all that stuff that goes along with it.
Thank you. And do you have any last words that you'd like to leave people with?
No, other than just, yeah, if anybody is interested, like I said, check out the website. Feel free to call, literally call. If I don't answer the phone, leave a message, I call back. Send a text, send an email. No, I have product available right now, so it's ready to go. So if anybody is interested, like I said, give me a call. I'd be more than willing to chat and answer any further questions. Like I said, it's good for beef cattle, dairy cattle, sheep, goats, hogs, all this, all that spectrum, and really at any age, from once they're weaned, to as you're growing or as you're trying to finish them, our product can fit in at any time.
Thank you so much, Jesse, and thank you for creating a product for people doing the most important job in the world, making the food that keeps us running. So
yeah, no, not a problem. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, Michael. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to chatting with some of your members and being a part of your guys' organization.